Hey everybody, I want to break this down for you guys. This is a background story I don't think we share often enough, and I think it's going to be really helpful for you to understand why we do what we do, and really why it's important to you and your business. This is just a real story of how far we've come, and I hope it sheds some light on why we do what we do for people and how this can help your business. So this is our story of how we went from doctors of physical therapy to doing financial coaching for business owners, and with a subtext of how we've been able to do this while keeping our profit margins at around 70% or above the entire time. So, again, I think most business owners, if you're in business, you're hoping that you're able to turn and keep as much profit as possible. And I want to share with you kind of why this is so important to us, why we're on a mission to raise the financial IQ of as many business owners as we can. And yeah, I want to share this story with you. So first off, my name is Will Boyd. I am the co-founder of CEO Finance Academy, along with my business partner, Alex Engar. And we do financial coaching for small business owners, usually doing under $3 to $4 million a year. And we help them never get surprised by a tax bill, be able to keep more of their money and turn that money into wealth. So why should you listen to this? Just for this, like for us, we've built our business now very gratefully to seven figures while maintaining 70% profit margins while running a lean team. It's just my business partner and I. We have a team of VAs who help us with this stuff, and we're growing. And now we've worked with over 200 business owners to improve their profitability, as well as individuals on their personal financial side as well. For context sake, we're not financial advisors, we're not accountants, we're not bookkeepers. We are business owners who have struggled in the past and had to figure this out, and have now built systems that have given us the financial flexibility to feel confident in what we do. And we run a system that we don't ever really think about money other than 15 minutes a month when it comes to paying ourselves. And then other than that, we spend an hour every week going through projections and financial systems. So that's what we do. So why are we in financial coaching? Why are we doing what we're doing? Well, we started our original business back in 2017 while we were in grad school. It was called Healthy Funnel. Technically, it's still the name of our company. We didn't really know what we were going to do. We just knew we didn't want to be 9 to 5 physical therapists. And we started a Facebook group helping healthcare practice owners understand digital marketing. And our very first product came about unintentionally. Just had a lot of people asking if we could package all the videos we've been making into a course. So we turned it into a course. That's how we made our first $10,000. We had a lot of those people reaching out. Hey, how do we do digital marketing? Can you help us? We created a coaching program, and then eventually started a digital marketing agency that turned into a hybrid offer where we would do most of the setup and then coach people on how to continue running their advertising. So we within our first year had made 6 figures, and from then on, it's always been multiple 6 figures a year. Since then, and anything that we've been doing. So we've figured out very early on how to make money. We figured out how to market. We figured out how to sell. Those were things that came quite, I'm not going to say easy for us, but they were things that we were able to figure out fairly well without really having a business background. We weren't business people by trade. Neither one of us went to business school. Neither one of us had run a business before. So what happened was, as we were taking on clients, 2017, it was either 2018, 2019. I can't remember exactly. I think it was 2018. That very first year, we got hit with a tax bill that we were not prepared for. And if you're a business owner and you're running your business for the very first time, we were saving. So it's not like we were ignorant of this. We thought we were saving a healthy amount, but we didn't save what we needed to. And so we got this sort of light bulb moment of, man, we need to really understand money. Why are we going to work so hard if we have to give this all back and not be prepared? And it created fear. And my business partner has a family. I've got a dog, and we're like, hey, we got to take care. We have responsibilities. We got to figure this out. So the next year, we decided we'd hire a bookkeeper and accountant. And this was really out of hoping that we would never have to think about money, never think about managing the money side of the business. And this is me on my end. I was so adamant that we could be able to outsource this. And I'm so grateful to Alex, my business partner, who convinced me we have to figure this out. We can't, maybe we can hire an accountant, we can hire a bookkeeper to do the outsourcing of those tasks, but to think about our money, to think about managing our money, that has to be us. So it was really interesting. That year was great. we were paying our taxes as we went. We had it all figured out. Our bookkeepers were great. They were getting our numbers to us on time. Our accountant was helping us, make accurate deductions to reduce our tax bill. And we felt really great. And 2019 came and we were prepared this time for our taxes. We'd made more than we ever had before. But we realized we paid a premium. Like we were talking around to other people who were, much smarter than us in business and how they were structuring their business to reduce taxes on the personal side. And, it really hit us home when we were looking at things that we wanted to do in life, and we're like, man, we got to find a way to figure this out. So 2019 became the year that we went on our journey to financial education and system building. And I'm sure a lot of you, if you're out there and you've figured this out now, you've gone through a similar process. But for those of you who are watching this and are still figuring this piece out, which is why I imagine most of you would be watching a video like this, is we started to figure out our own systems. And Alex, my business partner, figured it out so much that he was just documenting his process of what he was doing. He had enough people in our audience that were curious. He created a course of how he was managing his personal finances called Profit You. And what was interesting is I don't have an exact number, but the vast majority were business owners. And this is when we realized that we thought, for some reason, we thought every business owner would be smarter than us and they would have this figured out. But in the process of making Profit You, we learned that most business owners didn't know how to manage their personal finances. And we realized that usually was a reflection that they didn't know how to manage their business finances. And it wasn't something that was on our radar. We didn't think like, okay, we're going to double down on this. We were still on our journey. We were still figuring this out, building our systems. But in 2020, we were documenting what we were doing on our business finance side with our marketing clients, our agency clients, the people that we were coaching. And to our surprise, a lot of our clients, admitted to us off camera that, hey, I'm struggling to figure out my business finances as well. Or, hey, I'm not really even paying myself that much from this business. So we were generating a lot of leads for them, generating a lot of sales for them, but they didn't have the system in place to know how much they could be keeping, how much they could be paying themselves. And it was really interesting. So in our process of sharing our systems that we've created for ourselves, we realized that there's this gap that exists. I'll talk about that gap here in just a second. But it worked so well with those clients that they actually decided they wanted to pay us to continue coaching them through our financial systems. So it was less about, hey, can you just upload some software? It was, hey, can you help me put a plan together of how to manage my cash flow? And then can you help coach me continuously to make sure I'm making good decisions about this? And this is where I did some research. I started looking like, why don't small businesses have CFOs? Like, why don't they have a dedicated person to this? And the statistics are interesting. So if you look up, when should you hire a CFO for a company? It's usually when you're doing 10 million a year or more is when they recommend hiring someone in-house. Before that, they say get a fractional CFO around, 1 million. No, sorry, controllers is the title at $1 million a year. And then I think it's 5 million a year. You get a fractional CFO. I could be wrong on those numbers, but that's on the conservative side. If anything, it's like even higher numbers before you hire. And it just got me thinking, like, no wonder so many small business owners don't make it when we don't have someone coaching us how to understand cash flow. It's just sort of up to us to figure it out. I think there's a lot of stigma around, well, if you're in business, shouldn't you know that stuff, right? And I see this when I talk with friends, when I talk with family about what we do, the judgment on their face of, what do you mean? Isn't that just basic? Shouldn't they know that? It's like anything else, and I always give the analogy of like, well, fitness, right? I meet somebody, that same friend or family member who's not in the best shape. And it's like, well, you know why you're not in shape, right? Yeah, I don't work out enough and I don't eat healthy enough. Cool. It's the same with business and business owners and their finances. A lot of them know what they should be doing, but they're not doing it, or they think they know what they should do, but by thinking and not really knowing, they don't act on it. And it creates a similar kind of problem. So as we started doing, and in 2021, CEO Finance Academy began, which was our official open doors to financial coaching. And it's a premium coaching service ranging anywhere from $6,000 to $18,000, where we will sit down with you from a period of 3 to 12 months, depending on your needs, and we'll coach you through profitability. So it's just kind of where we came in. It's been amazing. We've built it up to multiple six figures already, and it's been going great, and helping business owners turn this around. So just kind of going through there, this is what I was noticing, right? There's lots of information. So the gap we're going to talk about, there's lots of information about who to help with your finances, bookkeepers, accountants, etc. there's a lot of blog posts on who you should hire. There aren't as many options for small businesses, small to medium business owners under 3 million a year in recurring revenue for affordable financial training on how and why to make financial decisions. This is the gap that we see, and we've been talking with people. We've got an incredible ad campaign that's going, and it's amazing to me how many people opt in for a simple calculator that we have, wanting to know what they can pay themselves. And we realize it's mainly because there's just not a lot of financial training and coaching out there for business owners, just specific to finances. We see it a lot in the business coaching world, where it's like an added on thing, but we just don't see a ton where it's like we're dedicated to figuring that piece out. So what does this look like? Like, what has this been for us? I think maybe it's helpful to see kind of, hey, here's the kind of work that we do. So I want to give you a couple quick examples of different industry types and whatever that have come in. So, one of our more recent clients is they run a party rental company. It's a husband and wife. They're doing around 350K a year. Incredible job with that. They're doing that in revenue, but they weren't paying themselves consistently. And the reason was they didn't have financial systems in place, and they didn't understand how to manage cash flow, meaning a lot of the money they made just stayed in a business checking account, and they would just pull owner's draws from it when they felt like they needed. And this created this yo-yo sensation of, when it's there, great, we're on top of the world, we can pay ourselves. And then when it's gone and the next month isn't as profitable as a month before, it's this sinking feeling of, where do we pull money from? We don't have anywhere to get it. And so it's about, hey, where can we predict money coming in, and how can we create a system in place that allows you to know what you can pay yourself, at least to provide predictability and sustainability in the business. We had a staffing company that's doing around $1 million a year in revenue, that came to us, but they weren't building business reserves out of belief that all the money should be going back to spent on the business. And this is something that's absolutely incredible, which is, spending the money on the business seems great. And we hear this a lot as well. I reduce my tax bill if I do that. And while that's absolutely awesome, I would say the number one stressor we see in business owners, once they're able to figure out marketing and sales, is they do not have business reserves in place. And usually for us, business reserves is a minimum of a couple of months of expenses saved up. Meaning, so if you spend 15K a month in your business, in expenses, like having 30K on hand, one, to be able to pay yourself if you have a bad month, or to think about making a future hire, or to buy equipment, whatever it is, right? Building those reserves is absolutely critical. And so we've been able to help her, figure out a system for putting money every month into reserves. She now has 4 or 5 months of business reserves in place. It's been amazing. And she's able to make better financial decisions now. We had an online health coach doing 200K a year, not sleeping well, because they were overworked and too afraid to hire, because they didn't know how to structure pay to bring somebody on, without cutting their take-home pay. So sat through, came up with a game plan with them. We worked with them for 3 months, figuring that piece out. Able to hire. They've been able to delegate now. It's been awesome. Been able to delegate almost all of the fulfillment that they do in their business, and are able to sleep so much better. And they're able to focus now their time on making more sales and marketing. So some examples of what we do. I wanted to put this video just together just to give you some insight in who we are, what we do. We get a lot of questions of, what's your business like? What do you guys do? It's the reality of, sort of our story. And I think it's an important one. It's one that's just true. It's who we are. It's what we do, and why we do what we do. So I hope this helps. And again, if you're interested in getting some help with this, you can always go to ceofinanceacademy.com/book-profit-call, or you can just comment on this video if you're seeing this somewhere, on the internet. And until then, if it doesn't make sense to work together now, I hope your business continues to be profitable. I hope you focus on this, continue to make this a priority in your business. And when the time's right, hopefully we can work together. Take care.